About to start streaming. My mic is on. Okay, that's good. And good evening, everyone. Slightly belated. Sorry about that. Welcome. Happy Halloween. Happy Friday, October 28th, 2016. Ta-da! 2 weeks in a row. Right? Welcome to tonight's Twitch with twitch.tv/Uncle R. I am your Uncle R. My name is Lartist if you're just joining us. I am the cartoonist half of Somer and Lar. Together we do the online web comics. Least I Could Do 7 days a week at leasticould.com. Looking for group 5 days of content at lfg.co. And Yes, just as anything I ever do with this stream, totally disorganized. Had a nap, fell asleep this afternoon. Did not mean to nap as long as I did. Naturally, a 20-minute nap turned into 2 hours nap. Threw me right off. Like I would have been organized if I hadn't fallen asleep. But it did put me a little behind. I got some work to do tonight. Welcome. This is where I try to be every Friday when I'm not otherwise at a convention or madly preparing for one. And this is where you find me. This is a creative stream if you're tuning in from Twitch. It's not a playthrough. I do art. I jabber a lot. I drink the occasional tasty beverage. My God, this stuff is amazing. I'm going to finish it tonight. I don't know why I put it in such a tiny glass. I should just have put a straw in the bottle. This is apple wine. Iced apple wine from Magnata Wineries in Ontario. Had it for a couple years. It is so damn fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As organized. Okay, so tonight is a spectacular, as I announced last week. What does that mean? Why is Lar not drawing himself as a jabberlarky? Not a bad idea, Davo. So the big difference with spectaculars, and it's not that big a deal because frankly, if you're a regular around here, you know how easy it is to get me to talk shop. You got a question about art, about technique, about drawing, about software, I am happy to demo and try and help you out. My pleasure. Having declared spectacular, I got one question. So, hey, whatever. Evening, Master Wabbit. The other thing about spectaculars, though, is I like to try and give away art prizes. Now, I am as disorganized as ever. Hello, Elkanor. About that, I have a few copies of my coloring book left, so I thought that would be a nice, different... I just realized the camera's kind of low. I don't look at myself in this thing. Nope. Come on. Tonight we test the power of my modem because my daughter is Skyping with some friends too. Okay. I have a couple copies of the coloring book left, so I thought I would send those out to some people. I have not brainstormed what our skill testing question shall be yet. The other thing I thought I would do tonight, and this is to give you a heads up to have your selfies ready, is instead of doing an art print, which I'm happy to do and send it to you with the coloring book if you wish. Yeah, I hear you, Master Wabbit. The other thing I thought I would do would be to offer kind of instant avatars. So tonight, aside from a coloring book and Sailor Baking card, which I will send to you because I have the Sailor Baking cards here. And actually, if you want a Sailor Baking card of your very own, and because you play Munchkin, and you want a Sailor Baking card, email me during the stream. Email me a mailing address during the stream. I will put one in the mail for you. Okay? That easy. Lartist.com. Give me your Twitch handle. Give me a mailing address. I will put it in the mail for you. Okay? They are for sharing. They are for promoting. And if you want one, I'm willing to put the stamp. So, aside from that, the other thing is that if you win a prize tonight, it will be a coloring book and it will be an instant avatar. Kind of like when I was doing the drunk avatars several months ago. I stayed up really late and had a bunch of whiskey and B-movies and did like super fast. That's kind of what I'm talking. Dragonvex is okay. You sent me a follow-up email about that and it's already in the mail. so that's fine. All the ones that I did before are already in the mail. So if you don't have one, you would like one, you'd like a couple, don't go crazy, but I have plenty. So, if you want one for yourself, one for a friend, a couple friends, that's cool. Like I said, send me your name, send me your mailing address, I'll put it in the mail for you. Hey, Desktop Bobcat. Yes, so if you win a prize, the prize tonight will be coloring book and quick cartoon Halloween avatar. Okay? So when you win, you will, but it has to be tonight. Offer expires tonight. I will do them live in the stream. Okay? That's the deal. So be ready with a selfie to send me if you win. So there's the deal. I'm going to do a quick cartoon social media avatar and send you that JPEG. There you go. Okay. But I have to finish inking beginnings at least. Because yesterday, normally I do, it's so weird this week. Normally I do beginnings on Wednesdays. That's just kind of how it's sort of worked out. But Thursday, I had a rare caricature gig. So I was out all afternoon. And then I was out in the evening as well, because I'm taking an evening course right now, just for a couple weeks at the local art store in Guelph, using Sculpey. Jiva, what do you mean not using a lossless image for? I can send it to you in a PNG. That's no problem. So I asked Somer to write me 2 least I could do's on Wednesday so I could make sure it was in the tank. So he wrote those 2, but he forgot to send me the beginnings like he usually sends me on Tuesday or Wednesday. Because he's had some stuff going on too. He's been dealing with a bug. They were getting some deliveries at the house. Blah, 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 blah. So it wasn't a big deal. I didn't even think about it myself. And he sent it Thursday. That's fine. But then I was out all Thursday. And by the time I got home, it was late. I was tired. I didn't get it done. I got it started, but I didn't get it done. And then today, I accidentally had a longer nap than I meant to. And I meant to lie down for 20 minutes. Suddenly it's 2 hours. I got to at least finish inking it, if not finishing it entirely. But I also have a cool Halloween pinup idea I'd like to do. Plus, I'd like us to do some selfies. I don't know if that will leave us time to do the rapid fire sketch game. And the other thing is, the rapid fire sketch game we haven't played on Twitch. And the rapid fire sketch game, for those who maybe don't know what it is something I do for the Spectaculars. And the last half hour of the show, one of the mods, like Cybercat or Wakos or Bodhi, would slow down the chat room, the IRC chat room, and then people would call out silly ideas, and I would sketch them as quickly as possible and do as many as I could in the time frame. But we're on Twitch now, and we don't have those guys aren't here yet tonight, if they're coming at all. So I don't know if we can slow down the Twitch stream, because otherwise things go by so quickly. Even with the lag that we'll have on Twitch, things might be going by too fast for me to catch people's suggestions. So we might have to come up with something else. Maybe by then I'll have enough apple wine to be doing proper drunkatures. Jeanne d'Arc, very nice. Well, you know what? And I will say that the pick doesn't have to be of you. It could be of a pet. It could be as a friend. But I'm going to do a cartoony, I would like to do a Halloween thing. So as well, have maybe an idea of a Halloween costume, or I may just make you a monster. Maybe I should just do it that way. It'll be a monster avatar somehow of you. How's that? For Halloween as well. Kind of a funny thing that I have in mind, possibly for the Christmas season, was on my caricature Facebook page. There was a discussion going on about, from one of the agents, that somebody called looking for somebody to do gingerbread caricatures, to kind of make. They were not clear on the concept, and we were brainstorming it, and it occurred to me a gingerbread caricature could be really cute. And me, I got kind of obsessed for a little bit and had to stop what I was doing and draw a gingerbread caricature. And it was very cute. I mean, I thought, you could set up the templates of the bodies with a simple, gingerbread man, or even set it up with a curve tool and the symmetry tool, and set up some maybe specialized brush sizes or special layers for various icing colors, so that the icing would go down as, say, white but with a dark gingerbread outline, or red candy color kind of thing. And I just had to bang out a couple of some of the people in the thread. It came out adorable, I think. So I may be offering quick gingerbread caricatures, kind of social avatar things, in a few weeks' time, leading up to Christmas. It was really fun. I shared the idea with my caricature friends, and just it's unlike. I mean, this is an agent friend who's gotten me work here in Canada before, but he covers a large area. This was probably going to be in the States somewhere, and I just sort of threw it out to everyone saying, go for it, if you market this idea, buy me a cookie. So that's the kind of fun thing going on. Shame indeed here, just catching up a bit here. Was Dave the Ripper last year or the year before? It's been so busy, I have not been able to do, aside from my own clown caricature, which even that was kind of late in the season, I've not had any time to really mentally build up to Halloween. The occasional Inktober. But I've not had the kind of fun to do Octoblar, where the past few years I've done avatars for people in a Halloween theme. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I hope you are too. Thank you again for joining me. Week recap, aside from, like I said, I had the caricature gig, which was actually a lot of fun. It was just a short gig, just a couple hours for a friend, a very good friend of ours. Her company is doing a United Way theme of superheroes, so it wanted to be everyone as superhero caricatures. Could I recommend somebody? And I was just like, I can't pass on this. It's an old dear friend. She actually introduced Christy and I. She's Christy's best friend from grade school. I met her in high school. Eventually she connected Christy and I. It's superheroes. So, I spent more time driving than I did working. But it was delightful. They raised some money for United Way. But it did kind of throw my week off a little bit. Election, blah, blah, blah. Actually, I had an idea for that I need to write down. Just came back to me. Explore that later. All right, so let's get to it. I'm going to throw over to, I set up the cam. Let's see if this will be all right for working on. Yeah, so let's make myself a bit smaller here. Boop. And oh, okay, so the chat's already in there. Oh, hang on, I know what I'm doing wrong here. That's like that. That needs to go here. There we go. So, yes, I know the words are there. This is how I do it now. So getting back to, I'm doing the traditional inking. Definitely getting smoother in my inking. There's just something so beautiful about a proper ink line to me still. I've not found a marker to rival it. So that the luxurious black, the ink, the control of the line. I'm still learning too, though, kind of understanding the responsiveness of the pen nib and perhaps when I need to replace it. I don't think I'm replacing these quite as often as perhaps others do, or perhaps as I should. But I don't know yet. It's still got a lot of good responsiveness to it. Nice spring to it. Hi, Salentra. I know that some pen, real kind of pen artists have their favorite inks and such, like brands, qualities. I've really just used two in my year of inking, and it really only has been a year of doing the beginnings comics like this. And that's just the traditional India ink and the Higgins Black Magic ink. Now the Higgins is a lovely ink, but it's also it's specifically formulated for brush pens, fountain pens, technical pens, so that it doesn't clog. I don't fully understand the formulations, but an India ink is shellac based. It needs a solvent, it's waterproof, and it will, crust up. And so if you're using something like a fountain pen or a brush pen where it's feeding through a cartridge, well, it's going through the little, what do you call it, little piping system. It's going to gum up. Even with a dip pen, there's times where you're stopping, you're rinsing the pen, you certainly don't want it to dry on the pen. You don't want it to dry on your brush and ruin your brush. So things of that nature. And the Higgins is waterproof, very rich black. Really nice flow. It's nice too because ink really isn't an expensive commodity for how long it lasts. So you spend a few bucks on a my bottle of indie ink is this is my bottle of indie ink, 236 mils. I've had it for a year now. I don't know, maybe a third. Like, this will last so long. But I know there's like the Sumie inks for Japanese and Chinese brush painting. I couldn't tell you what the difference are. There's a whole world of pen and ink enthusiasts that I know nothing about. The stuff calligraphers use for effects, for dusting, for... I'm not seeing Saber Cat yet. Sounds like Launchpad. Oh, happy birthday, Sat. Oh, there you are. You're just showing up in my feed now. So the one question I had, I don't know, gosh, I've forgotten. The Twitter name is different. Mighty Panda, not Mighty Panda. I'll have to check Twitter. Boom. Boom. Board Panda. So, Shifu, Master Panda. Shifu here? Oh, Shifu. I don't know if I should answer it because he's not here. Oh, wait a minute. See if he comes in. Sorry, I just got to rinse my pen. Okay. Hope I'm still in camera here. Good. some more ink in the bottle. Master Web, you're hearing the cat, I think. There could be somebody blowing their nose too. I wasn't paying attention. Also, my daughter, Clueless, is on Skype with some friends, so who knows what they're doing over there. Cybercat, this is how I've been doing it for the past year. Last Inktober, I started doing beginnings inks, at least traditionally. I scan the inks in and I color it digital. But, yep. Obviously, I don't do all the strips this way because I just wouldn't be able to keep up with the schedule. Come on. Ink's getting a little low on my jar, I think. And got some ink on my hand. Yeah, well, I think I've colored a few, but I guess I haven't, because I haven't set up the camera to ink them. Yeah, this week got me a little behind my normal schedule. I've been getting beginnings done earlier in the week, so... Hey, Jolie. So actually, I do the sketch do the sketch digital, printed out blue line, along with the text, so I don't have to worry about the lettering. I include the banner, even though I remove it and replace it digitally, just so it looks nice on the artwork. There's been a few times where I blued out the if say the characters are going over the logo, or interacting it with it, blocking it, whatever, then I'll blue out the logo as well. But it's nice to have it just to, show the piece off. Technically, these are all for sale, except the first con I brought them to, Somer bought them all. Said, nope. Okay. bit of a smudge there on his elbow. Watching the ink dry again. Anybody got any Inktober suggestions for me to do before I switch back? Got any questions about inking? Do my best to try and answer. You know what, Davo? I've done that. Gotta say.
Yeah, she went back home.
Oh, hey, Laurie. Oh my gosh. Oh, clumsy Laura. We're getting... Oop. Dip that I meant. Okay, you're flowing again. There we go. The little pot of water I have.
They're trying to make games more relevant, I suppose.
Okay, Jiva. Art question. Oh no, yeah, we have the extra hour next week, I believe. Ballpoint pen. I should do a ballpoint pen Inktober. It's not dry like we use. Only solid black and white. I don't think that's got a specific name. I know what you're talking about, I believe. Um, I always enjoyed it in like the work of Aubrey Beardsley, which could get a little macabre. He was a Art Nouveau artist who was known for his heavy blacks. Kelly Tyndall, the cartoonist, tends to use very heavy blacks as well, and less kind of cross hatching and shading. I I'm sure it does have a name now that you say that, but I bet it's one of these fancy art names that nobody ever actually uses, but art critics, like, oh, you belong to the, it's black and white. It's yin and yang. I understand what you're talking about, but I don't. A name for that does not come to mind. Certainly, the Japanese term notan, which is like the yin and yang design, but that's more to do with negative space than black versus white. That's about. But monochromatic is more actually achromatic. Is black and white, but that is not, I think, what he's talking about. I mean, technically, any this ink drawing I'm doing is an achromatic, monochromatic black and white drawing, but I'm using a little more hatching, or I might be using less hatching. I might be creating texture. I might be doing other things. Whereas I think what Jiva's talking about is one where you just have, you're kind of carving the image out of large areas of black and white. Not necessarily large, but just not value shading. Shifu here yet? Nope. Yeah, no, and I think no tan is two words. No tan, but that's no tan, if my memory is correct, is more about negative space. Um, and if you're not familiar with the negative space term, it's the spaces. No, it's the spaces not drawn in. It's the shapes created by the shapes left over in the empty spaces, and they are framed by the blacks and the whites and the color and the values and all the rest of that. So it's more of a compositional term than an art term. One of the Thank you, clock. One of the classic exercises for learning about negative space and learning to see it is placing, for example, a kitchen chair, that has the slats in the back, putting it like upside down on a table. And it forces you, and then you just draw an outline of the negative spaces. You don't draw the chair, you draw everything but the chair. And so you draw up to where the chair would be. So you're drawing past the chair. And learning to see like that is an excellent way to train your eye for those shapes. And it helps you to observe things correctly. It helps you observe things accurately and observe spatial relationships better. So that's what that is. Give this a second. Go and do some. I'm going to need to get a couple pilots for. There's some door frames here and the little bed frames that I'll ink with a mechanical pen. It's a classic exercise, and you should be able to find reference to it. But putting an object upside down forces you to our brains like to attach language labels to things. So we've attached the label chair to the chair. When we see it upside down, even though we know it's a chair, it's forcing our language brain to take a bit of a back seat, because chairs aren't like that. What is that? So yeah, some things I do differently with the inks, for example, is adding a bit more hair texture. I fill in Rain's hair a couple times actually, but I have to let the hatching dry between, otherwise it just starts to puddle and blob. Keep wanting to dip in that water. So this gives me a nice textured black instead of a solid. I definitely think different, not better, with a traditional tool. Oh, big sexy tech news, and I know some of you sent me the link, although it was just non-stop in the art world, which, that's cool. Elkanor, thank you. A neon sign would be a great way of looking at things, eh? Is of course the Surface Studio. And if you somehow missed this, Microsoft announced this week in lovely demos this big sexy piece of hardware, and everyone's like, oh, is this the Cintiq killer, is this the whatever? And I fully admit my Wacom bias. And it's a lovely big desktop unit. Giant, big display. I'm doing my hand thing. You can't see it on the camera. Sorry. It's like a 28-inch display on this beautiful aluminum hinge. And it's all touch. And if you press it with it, like, you can tilt it down to kind of a drawing angle. And everyone's like, wow, this is gonna, they've got all this software for it. It looks lovely. It's hella expensive. It's just hella expensive. It starts at $3,000. Actually, I think it starts at $32,000. No, it starts at $3,000. maxes out at 4,200 US for a fully loaded machine. It seems to me that they've taken a bit too much from the Macintosh world, because it's an all-in-one. It comes with a solid state terabyte hard drive or 2 terabyte hard drive, which certainly piles on the cost, and it's got this, that, and the other. Now, Wacom recently came out with their mobile studio, which is a 15-inch display. Hey, Will, who's hiding? I'm sure. I don't know if you're still there. Well, no, Blind Ferret Plays. I don't know who's behind Blind Ferret Plays. It's not Will, Blind Will. So, anyways, hello family. Yeah, I take issue with it. The price tag is exorbitant. My biggest thing with it, it's only 1,024 levels of pressure sensitivity. Now, Wacom came out with its 15-inch Mobile Pro, which has it doesn't have the Surface Studio has a 4K retinal display, super tiny pixels. You don't even notice the pixels. Okay, Will. Yay, Will's here. Pixels are not a deal breaker for me. I work with pixels. That's my job. Sometimes I want to get in to see the pixel thing so I can do, specific aliasing or whatever. Sometimes seeing the pixels warns me that I'm zooming in too much and I'm getting in too close, and I'm in danger of putting in kind of detail that will just turn to mud when this thing is produced at print resolution. Yeah, now see, that's Cyrex, you're right. 1024 is fine. My old Cintiq here is 1024. It's fine. I've been using it for years. It's amazing. But when I work on a 2048, I notice a difference. My companion one is 2048. I notice the difference. It is nicer to work on for me. And I think that's the difference. I think illustrators, painters, drawers, illustrators, comic artists want those extra levels. They closer simulate this natural environment of working with a really good tool. I've always said I love digital. I will fight you if you try and take away my digital. But it does not yet compare to working with traditional media. Working with a brush and a pen is more sensitive and controlled than working on a digital piece, especially at the 1024 level or below. And working on my 2048 machines, it's closer. It's not there, but it's closer. And it is a really nice experience. Now, with the mobile studio that Wacom just came out with, it's 8,000. It's like 8192, whatever the math is. Like, it's not just doubled, it's quadrupled from the standard 2,000 levels. I don't know if the Surface has 2,000 levels. I just assumed that was the new benchmark, because my Dynapad is 2,000 levels, my Encore was 2,000 levels, everything was 2,000 levels. So I was very surprised to find out that the Surface Studio, this ginormous piece of equipment, is not. And you're right. Most people don't need it. And you know what? From the little videos I saw where they're aiming it really for a studio environment. They're aiming this for, I think, designers, for maybe photographers with that retinal display. From the couple photographers I've seen work, they use large soft brushes and subtle work. They don't like zoom in and well, I suppose like the fashion ones do, but like if you're color correcting, if you're altering things, it can be very subtle sometimes. So they would need that kind of calibration. They would probably love the 4K display, the fine pixels, all that kind of stuff is going to work for them. For the architects and engineers that Surface Studio had in their demos, where they are doing, blueprints and architectural drawings, well, you don't need 1024 for that. Or sorry, you don't need 8,000 levels for that. But I think, and this new 3D software, which whatever it was, the 3D Paint, looks cute, looks fun. I don't quite get it beyond that because they didn't have other things. The little dial puck looks interesting, but there again, Wacom has had radial menus in their machines for a long time, and programs like Sketchbook Pro have had radial menus and corner menus for a long time. I've never really gotten into the radial menus, but that little dial thing might be a nice alternative to some of the solutions I've had on the road, where I don't have my keypad, my USB Logitech gamepad with all my shortcuts on it. So it's got potential. That looks like a cool add-on. I don't know that they spent the time working on the applications with people, I would like to see... I don't know what I'd like to see. I'd like to see somebody else using it. Surface Pro Artist on Twitter had a brief chance with it. Hello, Pussycat. But it didn't have any software installed that he could really use to run any of his kind of benchmark stuff. And the base unit, like the cheapest unit, is $3,000. That's a lot. So if you have $3,000, for that amount, you could get the highest end mobile studio from Wacom, which would have more power, smaller display, not the 4K, but it's got all the levels. It's got a nice enough real estate. 15 inches, not a bad real estate. It's got the portability, if you need that. 6 of one, half dozen the other. I think some people are going to love it, but for that money, for $3,000, I'd buy a 28-inch Wacom and hook it up to the computer I have. For that money, I probably could upgrade my computer and get a new Wacom. So, but it's not like I'm racing to get either. Is Shifu here? Shifu asked a question and Shifu's not here. in this bottle. Driving me crazy. 1 second. I'm dipping my pen and it's not getting ink. Yeah. Oh, hey, B. Penny Century. Yeah, I've heard things that that the video card is not. I may have put too much ink in there now. Yep, I did. Oh well, I'll live with it for now. No, the Surface Studios is sexy, but it's not for me. I would rather get a Wacom that has better options or better power for me, and frankly is something I'm a Wacom creature. I get their stuff. It's always been rock solid. They've got good support. Their stuff works beautifully, and I'm getting the extra pressure sensitivity I want. I want that. That's important to me. Pixel size isn't important to me. As long as it's color calibrated and it's got decent. Oh yeah, see that's the thing. I don't think we've seen anyone using it really in a way that is at least in our creative industry is using. I haven't seen somebody editing on it. I haven't seen somebody the only thing they show people doing is using that wheel for color change. Really? Yeah, but see, B, you can get like my Cintiq. I'm drawing with my hand on the page, right? You've got a tablet. You don't have you've got an Intuos or something, or a Bamboo. You don't have. I'm going to screw this. I was going to get out my Pilot pen, but let's do this. Like, I understand that. I just think for the price tag, you could do better. The price is really putting me off. And I don't think it's got the power under the hood as much. I think it's got the power in the display. Got a lovely display. It's got the cool aluminum thing. It'll look great in your office when clients come into the boardroom and you have to show stuff off. I don't think the rest of it's going to work. Touchscreen keyboard works on something that big. Or using the radial dial, using that thing, so you can say, oh, I'm going to here's my shortcuts. Boop, boop, boop. That's cool. But the Cintiq has the newer Cintiqs have I don't know if it's magnets or whatever. It's got like a remote control that you can stick on the screen, or you could hold in your hand, or you can put on your desk, or you can do whatever you want. Yeah, see, the iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil is a beautiful experience. And I have friends who work on it all the time and do amazing, amazing stuff on it. And I've used it a little bit in art stores, and I've used Somers just a little bit, but I don't know the software. And I don't want to learn new software. I don't want to. I don't want to. There's no need for me to learn new software. I have the software I like. I want the technology to come to me now. You know, my friends who are amazing at Procreate or Art Studio or, you know, Sketchable or whatever. That's their go-to software, and they do amazing work with it. Um, but I just haven't felt the urge to learn new software. Not to invest $1,200 on an iPad Pro and a pencil and software to then have a learning curve and still not be able to do a comic on it. I want to be able to do a comic on it. I can't. Now there is Medibank Paint, which people have been doing comics on, so there's options. But I mean, at this point, I've got my first gen companion. I've got my Dynapad as a backup. I'm off the market. You know, if I were to replace something, it would be to upgrade the companion. But I don't need to upgrade the companion right now. By the way, Will, don't tell Somer don't need to upgrade the companion. What upgrade the companion? How are we doing here? Okay, I think this is done. Oh, I've forgotten what my number is. What number is this? File. 417. Okay. What am I saying? I'm not done yet. I'd like to go over. Door frame. Doing some line quality touch-ups on the exterior contours. And I just touched the wet ink again. See, I got too much ink on the pen. It's coming out really wet. The lines are too much. Okay. That'll do, pig. Alright. We are past 9 o'clock and it's past time I gave away some art. Wouldn't you say? Trouble is, I normally do trivia questions or something. I haven't thought of any. It's time I replace this nib. Oh wow, Solentra, sounds like your new boss ain't so bad. I'm just gonna scrape some dried ink off of there. I need to give this a proper ammonia bath. Ammonia, excellent for dissolving into ink. Pour some of this ink back. I don't have Coke bottles. I do have old man trifocals. You're probably meaning my, these are my, I don't know why you're suddenly noticing. I have these glasses, which are my old man everywhere glasses, my trifocals. These are just bifocals for the computer. Because I don't need the fancy progressive lenses. I just need kind of a zero prescription for working on my Cintiq and a very weak prescription just for the secondary and third monitors. So I've always worn these glasses when I'm on the computer for a couple years now. Okay, Lori, that'd be awesome. Well, just to remind people, tonight, you know what, Lori, if you do the questions for me, then I will send you one of these. If you don't already have, go to the proper webcam, Laura. Everyone's just staring at an empty board. So yeah, Xerox. Progressive lenses for driving and walking around the world. Work glasses. So, tonight's prizes are a coloring book. If you're in the chat room or if you're watching and you wish to have a Sailor Bacon card, Super Munchkin, play with any Munchkin game though. If you'd like a Sailor Bacon card, shoot me an email. Please include, just for my own curiosity, aside from a mailing address, include your Twitch handle so I know who I'm sending it to. And instant avatar, Halloween monster avatar. So if you win, you must send me your selfie right away. If you don't send it to me during the stream, you lose. I'm not doing it after the stream. Okay? I'm doing it live here. It doesn't have to be you. It could be a friend. It could be a pet. I'm fine with animals. And I will turn you into a cartoon monster for a Halloween avatar. If you have a Halloween costume suggestion, I will consider it. But there you go. Oh, a glottis. Sounds like something from the throat. There you go, Jolie. I think that's the thing that keeps giving me hiccups. Master Wabbit, you can play. The thing with Munchkin is all the cards are any card from one game you can play in another. They're compatible. So if you don't want this, fine. I won't send it to you. I'll save the stamp. Or you can give it to somebody. It doesn't matter which Munchkin set. Frankly, I don't care if you have Munchkin. It would be nice to know you're playing the card, but if you just want the card, tonight is your chance to get it. Okay? Actually, Julie, I think my hiccups come from the fact that my body hates me. I got a lot of hiccups. Okay. Lori, are you going to do a question for me? Normally how I do this is I take the top 10 answers and choose one from a hat. Lori, what are your rules for doing this? I kind of like foisting off responsibility. They're all going to be for the same thing. I'm not going to try and up it or something. If you would like to sub an art print, something I've done, whether it's in the shop or not, I have not been updating the shop because frankly there's been very little interest in prints for a while. I need 3 questions, Lori. If I could get 3 questions. Get one now, one in about an hour, one an hour from then. So if you'd like, you can email me the questions and I can ask them and do it that way, or not. They can be easy. I'm sorry to do this, folks. Please, thank you for bearing with us. Yeah. If we're gonna do it that way, let's do it easy. Not like stupid easy, but easy. At least findable, shall we say. Okay, I can scan this now. Okay, so I'm gonna get some let me just dump my dirty ink water. Okay, we're waiting for that. I think I'm going to go look up what a glottis is. Maybe that'll be my Inktober. Come on, that's not what I clicked. Ooh, he's kind of a scary thing, isn't he? He's like a car mechanic. Pumpkin head with teeth and a crazy mouth. Oh, I like him. Let's do a Glottis. Would people like to win a Glottis? Oh, sorry, my t-shirt. Hey, Will, do you want me to do an Inktober Glottis, and then it can be part of the prize for next week? That's a bit nana, isn't it? It's like you draw a Glottis to win, and then I draw you one? Like, fuck you, Lar. Well, I'm just thinking, I haven't done an Inktober today. I haven't done one in a couple days. I could do one right now. Let's go back to the kitty cam. And oh, here. Now, actually, last week I did it down like this. So, Glottis. Well, you know what? First, let me do a little sketch here. Is the light good? Let's see. I love he's got these like ping pong ball eyes. Got a little tuft of hair, wee little ears. Just these ridiculous arms and gut. Oh, now his head is actually separate gut. I should make it part of it. His legs. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Lori. I should always remember to, oh, he's got wee little legs. Wee little legs and wee little arms and a wee little nose. You know, it's funny, I was just looking at some cartoons. Oh, I see. They get around his wee arms by giving him handlebars. Okay. Five commissioner. That's awesome, D. Oh, the Richard dog tag. Yeah, that is rare. So I should give him these weird. So there. I don't know if this makes any sense to anybody but me. But then let me see. How would I? If I do stretch this out. I could compose it better on a long not as good at faking engine blocks. We'll have to see how I do with that. Let's do that then. No question yet. Let's check the email. Here we go. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, those are good. They're not hard, but they're cool. They're good. I like it. So let's go with some nice, easy questions with a wonderful thank you to Ms. Lori C. in our chat room for them. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to type in the question. I'm not going to read it out loud. So if you want to play along and you're not in the chat room, get yourself there. Okay? Then I'm going to keep an eye on the email. You have to email the answer to okay? My email is in there. You email the answer. I take the first 10 correct answers in my inbox. And I keep an eye on the junk mail. Don't worry. And if some come in and in the junk mail and I put them all in a folder and I just take the first 10. So if it came out of order or something. Making sure that folder's clear. Okay. Then I put those 10 questions, or those 10 correct answers in a hat. Then I draw one of those out. That person is the winner. That person will then have to send me a selfie. And I will do their avatar monster thing right there. First question. Nice and easy. Love it though. Very timely. And now I just clicked away from my thing. It's nice too because I can just like... okay, Master Wabbit, the answer can be in either subject line or body. Make sure you include your chat room name. Okay? Sometimes I get emails and I don't know who they're from with the correct answer. So give me a chat room name so I know who to answer to. All right? The question is... There's the question. Beverage. Do not put your answer in the chat room. Put your answer in the email to me. Well, sorry, Hills. Hey, Waffle Joe. Thanks for joining us. Why is my pencil whistling? 6. I see 6 right answers so far. 8. I have 8 correct answers. Oh, that's my Zootadar. That's some scrap paper. I have 8 answers. Obviously waiting for like the I'm gonna get like a flood of answers. Where did I put my scratch pad? Little notepad papers. Here, nope, that's not it. Well, why don't I grab a hat while I'm up? This cap will do. Come on, email. I've got an email in like 30 seconds. Should be enough for the night. No, I had no problem finding a hat. I had problem finding. Trouble is I have problem finding paper. Oh, come on, email. Is some server gone down suddenly? I'm only getting eight answers. There's more than 8 of you. I can see more than 8 of you. Ah, nobody's answering. Well, I'm going to just start writing down names. If I write down all my names before the 8 is done, then before I get any more, then maybe we're just going with 8. I just had a pen. There's the pen I had. Maybe only 8 know the answer. Maybe only 8. Okay. Boop. And Okay. Okay. Who else is written in? All right. I have 9. Oh, geez. You can see us. I didn't realize you were seeing that. That's not fair. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I still had the camera on my hands. All right, I have 10. Pencils down. Love, are you awake to help?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Sorry, I'm tuned out though, sorry.
I just wanted if you could choose a name for our tonight's first winner.
Okay.
It's less suspenseful if you see the names.
Sorry, I'm so terrible about
Oh no,
not paying attention to your...
just choose one.
That's the one.
The winner is Elecnor. Elecnor wins. Oh, Cybercat. I would have accepted that from you, actually. Wong. Oh, shit. I gotta write that down. That's too good. How can I make that into a costume? Or not into a cartoon? Doctor Strange debating Hillary Clinton. We have to do that. We have to do that tonight. That's too amazing. Yeah, new note. Okay. All right. Elecnor, I need your selfie. I need your selfie as soon as possible. Either you or a pet, another person, whatever. I need it now. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to the magic screen. Or not the magic screen, the inking cam. And I should write this down somewhere. And now you actually already sent me a thing for a Sailor Bacon card. So I can send you... so I have your mailing address. Good night, Davo. All right, back to Mr. Weird Thing. Pull back up, please. Mechanic outfit. matters what his hands are like. Do some pistons here that make no sense. I'm gonna do those belching exhaust things that are just like spitting fire. Okay, now that's what I wanted to see. Boom. Little fandango. Rip snorting fire. Alright, let's go with that. Yes, got the picture. Excellent. Alright, I'm going to do this first, and then we're doing Elecnor's picture. There we go. That's much better. Ink level. Perfect. As soon as I said that, it doesn't work. No freaking way. Time flies so fast when I'm having fun. Some back of the neck fat there. We have an 8-ball for some reason, so let's give him an 8-ball. Huh, you know, he looks kind of like Honey Boo Boo. I know it's probably a horrible thing to say, but I don't know why I'm totally seeing it. This is awful. Goodness. I think it's the chins. Buggy expression. My God, that kid's gonna have issues. How old is she now? Old enough to probably been feeling the sting of not being on television. I'm sure she'll turn up one of those clickbaits if she hasn't already. Where are they now? What is she? Child stars who grew up to be ugly, pathetic adults. You won't believe what they look like now. Yeah, I probably would if I was interested. Saw a news article today, actually. It was about some, off of Fark, some British mom with the next spoiled pageant kid coming out. People freaking out because she gave the kid a spray tan. I'm like, isn't that old news? Lovely thing about Fark is I don't feel guilty not reading beyond the headline because, well, that's kind of most of the stories they get. I'm not going there for necessarily my my world updates, you know. Making up a lot of this detail. I think I can fake a car reasonably well, but these hot rod kind of things. Oh, that's a plus or a minus. Would definitely help if I knew more. You tell somebody you're drawing a big orange monster with tiny hands. Oh, it's not Trump. Oh, what a refreshing change. that air intake business. When it comes to faking, it's just like, okay, think back to what little bit I know about cars or what I've drawn from cars in the past, and there's blocks, and there's pistons, and there's air intakes, and there's exhaust outtakes, and then there's fiddly bits. It's the fiddly bits. I don't know if I'm fitting everything together. I don't know if I should care. I don't. That I'm not fitting things together. King of fiddly bits, of course, was Mr. Jack Kirby. That's the reason he was called the King. Put space fiddly bits on things like you wouldn't believe. Let's add some chrome effects. Yeah, it's helping. Making noises, that's the mark of a professional. Stop touching me. I know I should probably be doing like proper tattoo flames, but I'm not. Okay. He's going to be bouncing out of his seat. Almost Fandango. Ah. Actually, that will actually suit it well. I should do more of that pen flick on this. Still on camera. How am I doing, Will? Pump these wheels up a little bit. Hopefully I won't make a mess on my desk doing this. I'm going to try something here. See if I can... Trying to... Not quite flicking the pen ink like I wanted to. Thank you, youngest son. So let's do this. I'm gonna get my hands dirty. I'm gonna get my hands dirty. I'm gonna get my desk dirty. Oh, but it's a nice effect. Ain't it, though? Okay. I'm going to excuse myself for a minute to go get a sponge. And to do a little quick cleaning up here before I continue tonight. inside for a second. I will. All right, so that's all nice and relatively clean. At least it's not covered in ink. You know what? Let me scan it in while we're talking, and I can show you a proper scan of it, assuming it's dry. I don't want to put it on the scanner wet. Get ink all over the scanner. Give that a second. Let's catch up here. Oh, Jiva, what I was doing was I dipped a toothbrush. This is just an old toothbrush I keep in the studio. I use it primarily for scrubbing out my ink nibs, but occasionally for ink techniques. So yeah, I just dipped it in there and used the edge of my pen instead of getting ink on my finger. I used my pen to scrape and just splatter ink. I think it's dry. Take care of this while I'm at it. That away. Just putting away the beginning strip while I have it out. And let me move that. This over here. And in a minute, we'll go to the magic screen and I'll do our first winner's monster avatar. And while that's just come up. Save as. Okay, let's go to the magic screen. That can go away. Connect the dots. La 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 la. Connect the dots. La 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 la. And my camera got moved. There we go. Boop. There we go. So here is the Inktober. So, let's No, that's pretty much the whole collection, Slentra. Pretty much all just there. Don't worry about it. All the hats. So what do you guys think? Here's the Glottis. And you can see some of the blue pencil. Whoa, what did I just do there? Nope. It does show up with color scanners, but you know, once I go to grayscale, it mostly disappears. There's still sometimes a little bit of it, and then I just go into levels and clean that up a little bit more. So, pretty quick. I coulda, shoulda, woulda spent more time on it. But for a fun little sketch, Will, if you still want it, just let me know. And I can mail it to you, or I can mail it out direct to whoever wins. Or why don't I mail it to you and you decide when to give it away? And it's probably simpler that way. Did I already save this? Yes. Definitely coulda, woulda, shoulda spent a little more time cleaning up some of these lines, but whatever. It's actually probably unfair to see it at that size on my screen because it's bigger than he's bigger than he is in life. That's about life size. Yeah, so that's about actually the size he, to me, on my screen. Yep, I can say he's a digital one. I better save him. You know, let me do that now, or he will be forgotten. Pardon me, folks. I just need to. Where did? Oh, gracious. Scans go into. I moved my documents. Scans. Glottis for well. There we go. Sent. Now, let's open up Elknor and take care of him. Oh. There's the gingerbread caricature I was talking about. It's kind of cute, huh? Nice. So here's our winner. Let me just get open a no, nope. There we go. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to leave you up there. Does Somer have one? Not from this year, no. I just realized why things are moving slowly. Move this over here. Normally I do like new Halloween avatars for, gosh, a bunch of people at the office, including myself. And like this year I've just done for me. I haven't had time to do anyone else's. Save as. We'll put it there. And actually, I think you did suggest that you wouldn't mind being an alien of some sort. Is that correct? So, first, more apple wine. Yep, there we go. Well, the good news is I have blueberry rum. Boop, 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 ba-doop, ba-doop, doop. Alien, huh? Doing a nice, my favorite Martian thing, I think. War of the Worlds. I don't know if you let your kids stay up for this. Oh, well, Taylor, the Blind Ferret office is in Montreal. But I live in Ontario. So I'm a province away. I'm the only one who doesn't work in the office. And so if you ever watch Blind Ferret Plays on Thursdays, they're in the office. Huh. Still frame. Am I disconnected or something? Let me just check my end. Close. This is open. Let me close that. Read my mail. I can close Evernote. No, I'm still connected at a good rate. So I guess it's just downstream. Okay. Yeah, they're nothing to brag about, but the cats are awfully cuddly when they need to be. So this, yeah, I'm getting a bit of a lag on my machine. Thursday nights for the past few weeks. Next week is the last one. I've been taking just a interest course in working in Sculpey at our local art store. And a couple of young guys running it. They've got some of their own stuff. It's really, really cool, really nice. It's really just kind of workshop time. There's some young kids in there too, sort of, preteen,